Time now is 6:59 p.m. March 6th. Driving down Elm Street, I guess. Is this Elm Street? And of course I'm being followed by Vehicle 48 of the West Haven Police Department. He waited for me at an intersection by Dutchess Giant Diner until I came up the street, and then he made the left to trail behind me for the last 2 miles. This is part of the daily stalking that I'm referring to. You'll see him pass me on my left coming by right now. So he's going to be making the left on this plaza here. You see, we're at the intersection. I wound up my windows are tinted, so I know he can't see me. But you can see his vehicle there. So you can see through the window. It's kind of dark. When he makes the left, because his light should turn green first. I think the arrows are going to turn green before the green, the solids. So he'll have to make the left. See him pulling up? He's right here. You can see that vehicle. We're gonna see what happens with his vehicle. If his light turns green first, then I'll get him on camera. This is part of their daily harassment and tactics that they use to harass me. He followed me for the literally last 2 miles. Okay, his light just turned green. There he goes. Shit, I didn't get him. See? See him darting up the street? He did that on purpose. See how fast he peeled off? Whenever I go for my camera, he always peels off. All these guys, whenever I go for the camera, man, the video, they'll peel off. I mean, I guess, this is their thing, right? Stalking someone until you can figure out how to kill them. I guess the old South has never changed, man. This is it's still up here in the North too. You follow me, well, they don't even follow me because they have trackers on my vehicle and on the location history and all that stuff on your phone. They know where you are at any time of the day, 7 days a week. They know when you're in the shower, man. And as I mentioned, they use AMR ambulance trucks and all types of ambulance vehicles to coordinate my location and meet me at intersections, meet me on the highway. I mean, I must see at least 20 to 30 ambulance trucks a day who drive next to me, drive past me, drive around me. It's far too excessive. So that's like their method of, as I've always been saying, sending me a message that I'm marked for death, I guess, right? That's the only message you can take from that. What other message could someone take from ambulance trucks following them all over the place? Is there another interpretation of that? It's either you're marked for death or someone you love or care for is marked for death as a way to get to you, right? I damn sure know you ain't offering me no career opportunity. You know what I mean? So I was coming down here to Mainport. Oh shit, these windows are so dark, man. Which is a halal restaurant that I usually get food from. I'm ashamed of these people, bro. Shamed. I'd love to believe that I live in a country where police don't do shit like this, but it's just so freaking, it just pisses me off, man. Not because what they're doing, it's because we want to believe in them so much. We really want to believe that these guys are good guys and, they're really out here helping and protecting civilians every day. But no, what they're really out here is plotting and killing people. If you're doing it to me, that means you must be doing it to other people out here too. I'm sure I'm not the only one. What's up, brother? Let me get chicken over rice with white sauce, hot sauce.
Gotcha. You can have one.
All right. Sure, not the only one. In fact, I've talked to different people who told me they're going through the same thing in different ways, man. So it's like, it's really sad, man, that these individuals, 'cause it starts at the individual level for you to want to participate in these types of like stalking and hazing and gang stalking and all this other stuff. You know what I mean? It's kind of like heartbreaking that you would think, like, you know, these individuals who were sworn to protect and serve, again, protect you and serve the community, are doing the opposite of that. That's heartbreaking, man. Especially when you see that it's organized across different agencies, different law enforcement agencies, different PD departments across towns and municipalities, you know, freaking the ambulance service, you know, the hospital. Is like, you know, but those people are different. Ambulance people in the hospital, I mean, even like doctors and all that, but I can't speak on that too much because I can only speak about my personal experience with that, right? But like police, man, you look at them differently. You know, you kind of hold police or police officers in a different regard. You know, like that you hold them in a regard of higher respectability in some senses, higher accountability because of the things they have to deal with in society and blah, blah, blah. And, you know, kind of in a noble sense, right? But when you figure out that they're all just freaking corrupt, bro, like really out here stalking and preying on people, there's no words that I can use to explain how that really makes you feel. You know, I know every country has corruption, right? There's some third world nations that have worse corruption than America. But when you're a rich nation, there's no excuse for you to be that way. If you were a third world country, if this was a third world country, it'd be different. It would be almost expected. How could you be a civilized country with a constitution and a very prominent history in the world that you served in your, you know, the America's place in history of being a nation that pioneered freedom and democracy and all that, but was it all just a bunch of BS? Is there really freedom and democracy out here? Not with this kind of bullshit, man, that these guys do. Bullshit, bro. It's just really disappointing, man. Very disappointing. Very disappointing. It's different if you have a bad interaction with a police officer, you know, you get into an argument, exchange, blah, 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 you know, whatever. It's different if, you know, I can even understand if you're somebody who's driving through, like, you know, some people say if you go down to like Virginia or some of the southern states, you know, if they see an out of plate license plate, they may pull you over much more than they would a local license plate or whatever, you know what I mean? So of course biases exist, unconscious biases and those types of things. But it's a whole different ballgame when the people that are stalking you know who you are. They know who I am. They know where I live. They know everything about me. And they are still intentionally stalking me all throughout town, trying to intimidate me and threaten me. And I'm a law-abiding citizen. I don't mess with nobody. I have good relations in the community. They're trying to set me up. They're trying to get me to have fights with my neighbor. You know, it's like, bro, that to me is sad. That's sad right there. And to say it's sad because if I go through it, I'm sure there's other people going through it. And I'm sure that other people will go through it in the future. So I feel bad for myself, for anyone else out here who's also going through it, and any other person in the future that may be a victim of the same type of all forms of harassment that I'm getting from these people. Electronic harassment, stalking, gang stalking, mind games. As a targeted individual, bro, it's like they don't stop. till they drive you crazy, or take you out outright. I just feel like that's really, man, it just gives a black eye to the Constitution and everything, bro.
Hey, what's up, buddy? How you doing?
What's up, brother? How you doing?
Chicken, rice, and salad, right?
Yeah,
Anything else, brother?
that's it, brother. It's my man here. I usually order my food most nights from these guys. Whenever I have a taste for halal. Thanks, brother.
Thank you.
And that's all I'm saying, man. It's like, I have a lot of respect for this country for, the things that they pioneered as far as other nations taking their lead when it comes to really being pure. And I can't use the word righteous, but being just, fair when it comes to really exercising democracy and freedoms and, allowing people to live in society without fear of looking over their shoulder. Or that's not what you're doing, though, bro. You're trying to drive me crazy and have me live in a paranoid mindset, or have me, bro, their plans and their tactics and their police surveillance tactics, it's evil, bro. There's no good in that. You can't say there's any, unless you have a target in mind who you suspect of doing crime, or you have, a reason to be harassing like this because you know that they're up to no good or they're planning something, right? If you go to YouTube, you wouldn't believe how many people are talking about the same thing, man. People out here talking about the type of gang stalking and targeted individual tactics that's being used against them. And it's like, really? What benefit do you have to be targeting your own citizens, or anybody for that matter, what nation you come from, right? But like, just regular civilians, for what? Just to mind fuck them to death? Because you get off on that? You really get off on that. It just shows you the level of evil, man. It's like, what the fuck, man? Really? And like I said, when you think of police officers, right, or law enforcement, you kind of look at them and hold them in a different regard. You expect more from them. You expect them to be more of a leader. That's what the military is all about, right? If you go into the military, you expect to be disciplined. You expect to, to be uplifted, to be, that's what that kind of theme of those worlds are about, right? Honor, valor. But it's the total 360-degree opposite happening with these men that get into these positions. What happened to them, bro? Are they just outright like freaking white supremacists? Maybe. I don't get it. Did something happen to them in their life that, some of these guys just be on the force and start like, they fall into these types of things and like, organized stalking, organized, entrapment schemes that they use to entrap people. You wouldn't believe the amount of things these people throwing at me to entrap me, man. I've been through everything except being shot. What happened along the way for that, man? That's all I'm trying to understand. What is it? You can't say it's because you want control over people. You already have all the control. Ain't nobody got more control than the government. There's no lack of control that the government has. The government ain't losing its power in any, significant way, right? Like, so what really, what is it? In some countries, the government does things because they suspect that the next regime is going to overthrow them, or like, so they may do things towards their country, their citizens. It's not the case here. We have an organized democracy. A democracy that's looked, and it's honestly real. The American democracy in its truest form is admired, bro, across the world because it's like very unique. It drew upon all of the other previous kingdoms of the world. Rome, coming on, and America fine-tuned it and got it right in many ways, right? Where people don't have to be like living again like barbarians in a sense, right? Everybody has a level of rights and blah, blah, blah. And we should all respect each other, blah, blah, blah. What happens when one institution has all the power? I think Elon Musk said it, you know, and even some of the presidents said it in the past. Like, I think it was Hoover who said, like, you know, absolute power corrupts, right? Power is corrupts, but absolute power corrupts even more, something like that. I don't remember the exact way he said it. Elon Musk said it the other day. The government has a monopoly on crime and violence. It scares him to death. So this is like, you can understand why people are afraid, because it's like, bro, when you have all this power, if you're really not using it, right, the way it's supposed to be used, you could see why some people would be terrified of being like under the microscope with these people or being watched severely. But it's like, because we don't know what you're planning. And the only card they know how to play, everyone, all these institutions, the only card they know how to play over and over. Thanks, brother. Have a good night, all right? Is the, oh no, you sound paranoid, or delusional card. They'll always play that card over and over. Because that's the only card they got to play on people. Right? Playing dumb and asking people if they're, you know, are you sure you're not seeing, you know, all that crap. Right? And I'm not saying the police itself, but like, you know, just the world, society, right? It's the only card they can play on you. Make you feel crazy. Make you feel like you're making connections that are not really there. But they can only do that, you know why? Because deep down inside, society knows that they are terrified themselves. Every single member of society is terrified because they know it's very hard to police the police. And you know that deep down inside, you can't prove to someone who's saying that this has happened that it's not happening, right? All you can try to do is make it like about them. There's no way to say, no, there's a fact that it's not happening because, you know, we can check this and check that and we can verify this. There's no transparency on that end, right? So all the many people that I've seen give their testimony on like some of these platforms like YouTube especially, where they're like posting videos and it's becoming like exponentially increasing. I'm seeing more and more people posting videos about the same things I'm talking about, and I'm actually living it, bro. So it is real. And again, it's like, okay, forget the point. Some people like to make the point of all these people, you know, people got to stop talking like that. You got to stop talking in the defensive way, like you're trying to say, are all of us crazy? Forget people who don't believe you. Man, screw these people. They're idiots. Who gives a shit about you? Care less if you believe me or not. I could care less because you're not living my life. So I think a lot of targeted individuals out there need to stop speaking in a defensive way, like you just want to be believed. And you want somebody to, yeah, see, yeah. It's more like, hey, listen. Okay, it's happening, but let's keep asking the fundamental question. What can we do to change this? Who's policing the police or law enforcement? It's like they say with the new AI things. Who's policing AI? AI is policing itself. And that's why everyone's scared as shitless of AI, right? That's why Elon Musk talks about AI all the time. How dangerous it is, because we haven't gotten to the point yet where we can police AI, and AI may police us one day. It's the same thing. The people that we put our trust into to protect and serve us, when they flip the script on us and start mistreating us, stalking us, and even plotting to kill us, who's policing them? How do we prove that what we're saying is true? There's no systems in place. Oh, go file a complaint. That's the best you can do. They file it, stamp it, and keep it on file one day, right? That's about it. So the question needs to stop being, again, you know, believability and all this other crap. I'm far past all that, man. The question I have is like, what's going, like, what is this all about, bro? I think partially it's like what J. Edgar Hoover had, right? Like there's these people that have, you know, these mindsets when they get in a position of power, like, you know, power corrupts because you have access to all types of tools and things that you can literally see into someone's life on every detail and every level. I mean, they can get into your phone, they can do whatever they want pretty much. And that corrupts. Makes you feel like God over someone else. That's partially part of it, I think. And the other part of it is obviously there's strategic agendas, you know what I mean? Let you figure that part out. That's about it, man. I haven't posted one of these videos. I haven't said anything about this topic for a week or two now because I've been kind of busy. But like I said, coming down Elm Street tonight and making a quick stop to get back to eat. And I saw them hovering all around me all day. I've been out and about most of all day today, running a lot of errands, you know what I'm saying? And obviously I must have saw at least 20 ambulance trucks today. Strategically on highways, at intersections, and this is not even a big city like that. You don't even see 20 ambulances if you're in New York City, man. Come on, give me a break. And that's a city of 8 million people, much less New Haven and West Haven, Connecticut. Give me a break. I've lived in New York City for many, many years. You lucky if you see 5 ambulances for the day. And that's if you live even in the city or in Brooklyn, or like, you know, a very populated city. So they know what they're doing. And that's why I started the video because, you know, as you saw when I was trying to I should have just been bold enough to just put the camera and film his ass, but I don't want to get hit with a ticket for holding a cell phone. Them tickets are expensive, man. Don't want to give him a reason. You know, and been speaking my mind ever since. So yeah, I'm about to wrap it up. Time now, 7:21 p.m. March 6th. All right.